I terrify them. Cypher disorients them, Alucard goes over the top, and we support him.
Yes.
Begin.
The original Castlevania animated series is probably one of, in my personal opinion, the best video game adaptations of all time. And I have to think it was one of the shows responsible for finally breaking the dreaded video game adaptation curse, where for a long time game adaptations would range from decent to some of the worst media that has ever been made.
Albert Wesker, you're fired.
But nowadays they range from decent to pretty fucking good. But doesn't stop the occasional piece of garbage sneaking its way in. But recently the brand new Castlevania series, Castlevania Nocturn, has dropped on Netflix, so I thought it would be fun to just talk about it, my feelings, my thoughts, and that's it. Roll the clip.
I am Richter Belmont, last descendant of the Belmont clan, and I kill vampires! Who's fucking next?
I was going to say something witty and cutting and brutal before I finished you off. But fuck it.
Nocturne takes place several hundred years after the original series and follows the latest descendant of the Belmont clan, Richter Belmont, during the French Revolution, where a supposed vampire messiah is coming to crush the revolution. It's up to Richter and his friends to try and put a stop to their plan. Now, I haven't played much of the Castlevania games myself personally. Only ones I played Symphony of the Night, and I played more like died a bajillion times in Rondo of Blood. But Richter is probably the only Belmont that I was really familiar with while jumping into it, while Trevor I was aware of. I hadn't played any of his games at all, so I have at least a little bit of a context about Richter and all that stuff. But the good thing is it does what a good adaptation should do, and what it should do is be able to stand on its own, and it very much does that. While there are Easter eggs and backgrounds, stuff all in there, you don't have to play any of the games, but you know, obviously you play the games and your experience is more enhanced. Overall, I did enjoy my time with this, and it's a pretty solid start to this show. It's definitely better than how the original Castlevania series was, where they were basically given like 4 episodes to be like, here's a pilot, if you like it, watch it and we'll make more. So the first season of that show is just it's almost like a half season, and like I consider season 1 and 2 to kind of be like one season together, honestly, because it just like flows better and has more of an actual like conclusion and story in it. Thankfully, Nocturne does not have that problem because it is a full complete season with 8 episodes. Although it probably could have done with a few more to kind of flesh some things out. An example, Olrox, if I say that right, I don't really care, is one of the main vampires in the show, has literally one talk with this knight, and literally the next scene of them together is just them in bed, and I'm like, did we miss something? Did we miss this relationship? I know, this show is shockingly horny.
Did you think we were flirting? I know it's all about sex with you priests, but believe me, you really shouldn't tempt me on that score. You wouldn't like it. Every orifice I possess has teeth.
Every orifice? Why, yes, if you would like to see for yourself, you are more than free to try. What about your belly button? My what? Your belly button, that's an orifice, ain't it? I am currently rethinking our alliance right now. And then he's like, I love somebody, but I never will love you. And then at the end of the series, he's like, no, but I love you. When like we've only seen them interact like what, 3 or 4 times at this point. It's stuff like that that could definitely use a little bit more fleshed out. All in all, it's a pretty solid start, a pretty solid cast of characters. And of course, my favorite, absolutely favorite part of these Castlevania shows is the animation. While for like 75% of the time, it's fairly reserved. The second action goes down, the animation just goes fucking ham, and I'm living for it. Nothing like a good Castlevania fight, as the animation is just so fast and frantic and energetic, and every single character has their own like very unique fighting style that's unique to them, and which makes every single fight unique and different. Oh, I love it. Examples like Maria, she uses various animal summons to both attack enemies and to like get them off guard so she can like stab them with a sword. Richter, he's pretty much the all-around kind of guy. He uses a whip, a little bit of a sword, some daggers to fight, but then at a certain point later in the show, spoilers by the way, he gets his magic abilities back and he just combines them together. He uses them on his whip, on his knives, on his sword, just on his fist. He beats the fuck out of so many vampires with his fist. It's awesome. Probably one of my favorite fighting styles is the new character, Annette, who uses magic to basically almost earthbend like various items and weapons out of the dirt, ground, metal, all around him, and she's able to like move stuff around. Like she slams a door on somebody at one point, and so cool. Just I love like it's so good. I feel the show is a little bit different from the original series, as overall they're both very dark series, but the original series had a very tongue-in-cheek, jokey kind of vibe with it, which I actually really liked. The characters are very likable and funny. Most of the time I liked it. But this show is not jokey really at all. There's a couple like little tongue-in-cheek jokes here and there, but most of it just played straight. Also not as brutal as the original show, as obviously it is bloody and violent. It's not nearly as like over-the-top gore as the previous show was. Yet. One thing that I'm very mixed on is the use of the music in the show, because Castlevania, if you know it for one thing, you know it for its absolute fucking bops of soundtracks, and they don't really use them a whole lot. Most of the time it's standard music, but they know exactly when to bring out the original OSTs, which on the one hand elevates it to like this whole new level where it's just like the scene goes perfectly with the music and it's amazing. But on the other side, all the other music besides that is pretty forgettable and you don't really remember it. Like play in your head like Dracula's theme from season 1 or 2. You can't think of that off the top of your head. It's a real mixed bag. I'm not really sure how to feel with it, honestly. Overall, it's a very solid start to the show, and I'm genuinely curious to see where it's going to go next, and I hope, unlike the original series, they kind of plan out more of a better idea, and they're given the proper time in order to properly flesh that out, because in the original, they did not. Hey there, gamers! Guess who it is? Not the guy who recorded for 5 minutes trying to get this outro, but then realized he accidentally forgot to set the mic in OBS, because God hates me. Yeah, I kind of want to do a little bit of a shorter video so there wasn't like a stupid long wait in between the last video and this video, and I do have a bigger video I'm working on that I'm hoping is going to come out before the end of October, but then again, with how I work in school and life and everything, that might be a little bit later. And yeah, I'm hoping to get that done. I am going to attempt the plan. I'm not promising anything yet. Nothing's been set in stone. I am hoping to do a Halloween night live stream. I'm not sure what game I'm gonna be playing. I'm debating between Luigi's Mansion or maybe like a Resident Evil game, or I'm debating if I want it to be like an actual like scary game or if I want to be like a fun little like Halloween themed thing. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out. If you guys have any suggestions or anything, let me know. But you can also head me up on my Twitter, which is down below, or X, which I refuse to call it whatsoever. The Wright Discord server is down below. I'm always on there, but it's not super active. But hey, if we get more people in there, maybe we can get some events and get some stuff going. And I'm probably gonna put a poll about what I should try and play for Halloween, and I am gonna try and be playing on this YouTube channel, which I did like forever ago before I was given this small purplish form. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me for today. Have a good night, and don't forget to bell your mods. Why does anybody subscribe to this channel?